So what were we saying at the coffee shop? 9 to 5 job.
Okay.
What do you think of 9 to 5? Good?
Basically,
I have to follow the sunnah.
the sunnah. What do you mean by the sunnah?
I will not work under somebody lah.
Yeah, basically, my question to you guys, because both of you were once in a 9 to 5 job, and myself currently is in a 9 to 5 job and aspiring to transition to so-called be my own boss. Because since young, I have this aspiration of being an entrepreneur, of doing my own thing, my own business. That's how I see myself. I don't see 9 to 5 job as something that is bad or negative, but it is a stepping stone or a platform for me to learn and earn, gain skills, to gain network. That's where I meet people with the Syairan. Then if I don't meet him, I also don't have the chance or opportunity to meet you. And because if I were to do my own thing without any platform or assistance, I think the time that I will take much longer lah. The learning curve is steeper and so on. So there are benefits. There is something good in starting out as in a 9 to 5 job, because they say that a 9 to 5 job pays your bills while you build your own business, your own empire in that sense. Hence my question is, how, knowing myself or knowing the gaps in the market, and based on your experience, how can I transition from being in a 9 to 5 job to doing my own thing, starting my own business and so on? As you know, there are certain risks, because I see that both of you have successfully done so. I see there's a light at the end of the tunnel, inshallah. So maybe you share about yourself.
I mean, for myself, I get into entrepreneurship from when I was working. I think I did some side quests, side jobs, where which was my first client. I think she just wanted to do some analysis work lah. So because I was in audit at that time, so I did. It was something that I could do easily, so I just did for her and then proposed the recommendations lah. It was just a simple engagement that led towards her having the trust in me and asking me to implement what I recommended her. So eventually became like a consultancy service that we do for her every month. So that kinds of opened the door for me to become my own boss in that sense lah. So like when she asked me to go to her office and give a quotation, so I had to sort of in a way being pulled into that area, and then that's where I realized like it's something that potentially I could be doing on my own lah, rather than just working 9 to 5. So that kind of changed everything, and at the same time I guess in the workplace then there were some complications and some politics and things like that. So in the end the decision for me was straightforward lah, just to I had this going on, so might as well I shift my focus there itself. So that kinds of get me started on that journey lah, per se. And also for me in my line in the industry as a Muslim accountant, I think there is also a lot of challenges lah, because if you see the business world, I think there is more Chinese companies, things like that, and they require more of the Chinese lah. So when you say there wouldn't be that much Malay businesses, things like that is there for you to work lah, in a sense. So job hunting can be also challenging for Muslim to be in a accountant, because one way or another big companies they want to trade with China lah, especially with the China rising up in terms of the economy and the business and the technology, right? So I think that was like 10 years back that for me it was like the challenge was like really what companies can we work for in the sense, and if you want to work for the banks, it's another different matter, right, for us.
We had a conversation. The conversation at the coffee shop was about how crucial it is to not try to venture something while having a full-time or a 9 to 5 as a backup plan. Kirakan at the same time. That means when you're venturing your new freelance work or new self-employed work, you still hold on to a 9 to 5 job. So it will affect your focus lah in that sense. What are your thoughts like? Should one leave that 9 to 5 job completely, focus on the new self-employed work, or it's okay to actually do like half-half, slowly transition?
I think it depends on the individual lah. So you look at your own planning lah. Like you mentioned for yourself, you had 1 year of savings, right? So for others it can be different lah. Like for my case, kind of just go along with the flow of it was planned that way, so it did that way lah. Like if you look at it on hindsight, you see that you can see that when I did when I had the opportunity from to do the analysis or to do the side quest that turned into a full consultancy service, kind of not expected, but you can see that he planned for you in a certain way that something else was coming in my work that I would be in a position where I can just say, okay, that's it, I'm gonna resign and then I just focus on this, right? So along the way I had that. If for example I didn't have the consultancy service, then I might be forced to like not to resign because I didn't have the opportunity. So I think, of course, making your intentions clear, what you want to do, and then having the plan for it lah. Of course, if you have savings, it helps a lot for you to straight away jump. But if you don't have savings, then you are also kind of tight lah in that sense it's very easy for you to just say we just quit and then 100% focus on the business, right? Of course, it depends on whether you have savings or not, and then of course the opportunity, and I think I mentioned about like having whether you are in the industry for you to switch. For me, it's more of I'm in that domain, accountancy, already worked for 8 years, and then I decided to start my own accounting journey. I'm still having the skills and expertise in accountancy for me to start. It's just that a matter of how it runs lah. Of course, as a business owner, there's more things to learn and more things to do compared to being just an employee. But in terms of execution, doing the work for the client is probably the same lah. Previously, it's just that the firm invoice the client. Now is I invoice the client directly and I do the work, right? So there is the difference lah. This depends on the situation and circumstances. Of course, if you are moving to a challenging industry, Brother Syairan, he can share about this one as well, because he moved from pharmaceutical to a totally different line, financial advisory, where he need to learn new things. So that's why maybe for him, he wanted like 1 year of planning, like compared to my case is accountancy, still within accountancy, just that now I'm my own boss rather than working. So the skills are there, the knowledge is already there, it's just servicing the client differently.
By any chance, to have a mentor in your journey?
Yeah, so when I started, I think that was one of the major things, right? For me, that I always look for mentors lah. So when I started out, I went to a conference in Australia, and Zero was quite new at that time. So that's also one of the reasons also that I switched, because there's this new opportunity at that time, cloud accounting. So that was like almost 8 to 10 years back, right? So it was is ahead of the industry, right? The technology. So the opportunity is there. Then I met my mentor back then, Muhammad Fazluddin, accounting superheroes, and then we went back Singapore. We met up, and he invited me to be a partner in his firm. So we run our clients concurrently, but we share resources. So at the same time, he need me to help manage certain aspects of the firm, and that helps me a lot in terms of being an entrepreneur yourself lah, like learning more things about staff or handling the business aspects rather than just doing everything on your own. So I think it's very critical to have mentors lah. Like even right now, no matter at which stage of my entrepreneurship, I always look for mentors to learn from. Yeah, so now I'm learning from UK entrepreneurs who has done 8-figure businesses. So what can I learn from them? Of course, they bring a different knowledge, a different perspective from overseas, rather than just what we have here. So for me, I like to learn. So there's a different perspective, different regions. We learn different things, and then we try to implement in where we are at. So I think Brother Shairan touched a bit about when having a good mentor lah. Whether you want to go to real estate, you find a mentor. I think FA also that is also how he implement in his team. Maybe you can share more how maybe as a mentor or.
Each time you ask me to share something, I feel like I want to ask you back other stuff. I think what was it about? Because you were talking about how I saved a year of expenses. I mean emergency funds lah. Okay, not sure what that means. We can have a consultation. Okay, but anyway, I came in. Actually, that could actually be a double-edged sword. Having 1 year of savings, meaning if let's say Nauzubillah I had 0 sales, I can last in the industry for 1 year. Having that also is actually a dangerous thing to work with. You might have the mindset that I can do it slowly because I got 1 year. So at the end of the day, I think it boils back to the mindset, discipline. You can have a buffer of savings or a backup job, but if you want to do something, you will do it. Yeah, so it's not a matter of how prepared are you in that sense. It's just a buffer, but I can have that. I can choose to have that mindset of never mind lah. I got 1 more. I got 11 more months. I got 10 more months. Yeah. So that goal was just to be there just in case. 1 year of savings, but my job was to ensure that I didn't have to use any of that lah. I had to work hard to make sure that I didn't have to touch that savings lah per se. So what made it easy for me was, before we go to mentorship and stuff, what made it easy for me was the purpose of entering. That's why just now Brother Nasir said, what is your intention? Which we're not sure whether it was caught in the camera because we had some issues just now. What exactly do you want to achieve? I think just now you mentioned about flexibility of time. What else? The purpose of why you want to adventure
something I'm passionate about. That is also something that can fill up, can serve the community, can fill up the gaps in the market. Revolves around these 3 factors mainly, and also the higher ceiling of income. Yeah.
Now, what are you passionate about? So only you will know these kind of things.
Myself.
What will you be passionate about? Yeah.
Something that involves my creativity, for example, media or marketing, and something that I'm passionate to learn. It's something that I'm already passionate about is teaching, marketing, media.
So
do marketing
then
business.
do a marketing content creator.
Okay, then the next question would be, how can I offer something different or can stand out? As you know, out there are many marketeers, there are many influencers, There are many, people who work on their own. freelancers who are in this industry or area of expertise? What is the niche? Who are some of them?
I'm trying to fix in my mind like who are this group that you are mentioning. Any names that?
Basically, anyone who does videography,
like financing
anyone who runs a
Marketing agency.
How can I be different and offer something different and something that the market or community needs?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
What's a good example of a good marketing agency in Singapore? I know New Entity does more branding kan.
Yes.
The branding. I mean, we were connected from Imran, which does LinkedIn, personal branding.
Personal branding. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
LinkedIn
Other than
marketing.
brand talk, who else? Let's talk about, let's say, within the Muslim community. Who else actually does it?
There's banyak lah. It depends what type of marketing.
What kind of
We have the Golden Nugget podcast. We have Hanafi. We have
content marketing. There's
we have Shukri. I guess he does more of
some
food blogging.
use themselves as their face of their business. Some have a team or agency.
You have to start small first.
I think some serve the clients. Some maybe more of they are the influencers than just promoting.
Kuchester, right?
Just
What do you think about me doing something similar to Kuchester but involving more da'wah elements or a different target client and
What do you
audience?
do for a living?
So how?
that's what I'm not.
No, it's not. It's beyond that. I mean,
Beyond that.
how do you make it? How can you? What do you do in terms of the deen?
But Kuchester is a different business model itself. So that one, maybe you want to go into like the different business models lah. But theirs is more of media, and then they're not monetizing. They are not like providing service. You engage me, then I do a marketing for your company, right? Theirs is more like the media style, which kalau you want to see other examples, you realize like KL Foodie. So it's very corporate because it's not like influencer punya model where you see the person, usually you see that person lah, because that's why he doesn't hide himself, and that's why it can scale lah, because it's more of like a media, which even if his team members become the one behind the camera, it doesn't affect the brand itself. And then that's how they also can branch out. But it's more like a media angle, but the monetization would be much later lah. Basically they're building a media, you can say that it's like a media channel where they get a lot of viewerships first, and once you have the viewership base, then
Monetize.
you can monetize it lah, or you garner the attention, right? So you can go to brands whether they want to sponsor or whether now they want to be featured, and then we will be asking those things that you normally see in the video lah.
So that's content marketing, right? It's
Yeah.
not, it's not service.
Yeah, but it's more like it's more media lah, to say, than marketing. We don't really people will sort of media buy things like that, but it's not the same as doing influencer marketing or doing marketing for a company, right?
But I think on that note, what you need to find out is, I understand you like that marketing kind of concept, but do you like it as a tool for your business, or do you want that to be your main business? So for example, if I can be a financial consultant, but yet I'm passionate about content creation, marketing, then I excel so well in it that my business grows, for example. So do you want it as a supporting kind of role, or do you want it to be your main job? So for example, for you are good at accounting and auditing. You can technically leverage on that and then be an FA at the same time, for example. So that's how your passion or your strength helps you to build your main business.
Yeah.
So
now accountants become FA.
yeah. So after they account say, buy this. No, just kidding. So you, I guess you need to branch out your ideas. You can do like case study. Kita mentor. We both mentor you. Like you form up what exactly you want to do, the different possibilities of choice. Then you narrow down what exactly, because I think you're at that discovery phase. Still not sure which one is the sweet spot, but yet we discourage from just try one by one. It will take a lot of time.
So to determine the sweet spot is through what I'm good at. Definitely istikharah. But is it through my strengths? Is it through what I've been doing at work? Is it through passion? What exactly? Or is it through an opportunity that's presented from me externally or from third party, I would say?
It's a mixture of all. For yourself, for his is that
opportunities.
opportunity that came. He also didn't know that the business was coming.
prepare yourself lah. Like you have build the skill set, learn more things. And when the opportunity arise, then you are ready for it lah. Otherwise, the opportunity will just fly by lah. So I think for me that is usually my philosophy lah. So even now, where I keep learning new things, and then even like for example the last round we had the Maybank event, because when the opportunity came, it just so happened that there was already something that I had the intention of doing lah for some time, but that wasn't the opportunity, or it just felt like there was one of the things that I could be doing, and then I had learned the skills, I had learned the knowledge, learning how to do acquisitions. And that's how like we acquired the studio. We had multiple small acquisitions, or we tried to learn how to do acquisitions and things like that. And then it just so happened that the big opportunity came, and then I feel that this is something that can benefit the community, and then we just jump right in lah, because it was ready. So I think throughout your journey you will be that lah. Once you are ready, I think I'm sure he will send the opportunity to you lah. So your job is just to make yourself as ready as possible on doing things, and then of course the rest is more of leaving it into his hands lah. But I think that is the important things also lah. Yeah. So and then I think eventually you realize that he leads the way lah. You just make the intention, make dua. You just prepare yourself, upscale your skills, and eventually throughout, for me, my entrepreneur journey, I think I feel like sometimes you want to bang this door, but the door never open. But many years later, then suddenly it comes, right? So let's say like for example, even like recently I got my public accountancy
After buying the
my auditor license, right? So that is something that I've been wanting, or I've tried very hard to get, right? For maybe more than 6 years already. So now only then it suddenly happened, right? We got it. So you cannot force things also, but at the same time, you just be ready for it lah. He opened the door for you, definitely for a specific reason lah, that you get into. So alhamdulillah, I think. And at the same time, so even someone was asking also, right, what opportunities, and then it also struck me lah after when I went home to realize that because I was talking about AI coming in, then a lot of accountancy so disruption, and then I realized, but the AI cannot replace an auditor to sign the report. Who's going to take the responsibility? So in the end, I just see that this is something probably that he planned for me lah, also that he's protecting what I'm building and things like that. He gave me something that even now AI cannot replace. So this is something you can never plan for certain things lah. Yeah.